You know, they show up in the helmets and the black masks, and they've got clubs and they've got everything. Antifa!
Antifa, they've been terrorizing people, intimidating people, and when they can get away with it, violently attacking people. These are felons. This is terroristic.
Այսօրվա պես հիշում եմ քեզ, Նիկոլ։ Ռուպերը ձեռդ, ավտոները քաշեք, ակերը ծակեք, պատրաստվեք, ժողովուրդ ջան, այսօրվա պես հիշում եմ քեզ, Նիկոլ։
Antifa, short for anti-fascists, a movement that has gained new prominence in the recent years in the United States and Europe. A militant extremist left wing with a distinct taste for violence and forceful suppression of free speech.
How do you shut that down? A swift and beautiful punch to the face by a masked crusader.
This extremist tool in the hands of the left to oppress the entire spectrum of conservative and nationalist movements has been widely applied in Armenia to undermine free speech, true democracy, and even the state itself. And while the operation of Antifa groups is seemingly decentralized in the US and Europe, the Armenian Antifa is a whole other story. Decentralized at a first glance, its spectrum ranges from the LGBT community to civil society, from proponents of the ruling power to armed groups that commit acts of terror. Nonetheless, upon closer inspection, the Armenian extreme left has a clear organizational and financial structure, with none other at the top than the Western-funded NGOs and foundations, of which George Soros, with his Open Society Foundation or OSF, is among the leaders. The favorite endeavor of the group is silencing free speech, spreading their own hate speech and violence. They do so by pejoratively labeling anyone who does not conform to the Western agenda and attacking them. All while the entire Western-funded mass media bloc guarantees media manipulation and censorship. Effectively, they propagate a culture of violence and intolerance, then redacting and skewing the truth via the media resources and human rights defenders on their payroll. This way, a group of proponents of the ruling power disputed the press conference of the former President Robert Kocharyan, claiming that he was an authoritarian dictator, a killer whose voice should not be heard. Strangely, however, hard facts and statistics suggest that even though the previous two governments did have issues of their own, they surpassed even most of the countries of the world in both political and economic performance. Moreover, the current government has been unable to prove its allegations that its predecessors were in any way oligopolic or autocratic. It is notable that key members of the protesters, who even assaulted the security staff, currently hold positions in the government. Moreover, on the forefront you can see the members of the Restart Initiative, directly funded by the OSF. The same Restart Initiative ambushed and kidnapped a political opposition activist ADEKVAD with such cynicism that they even filmed and publicized the video footage of the kidnapping themselves. They have not faced any consequences to this day. Similarly, a mob of proponents of the ruling power ambushed and attacked 3 members of ADEKVAD initiative in Marley. However, instead of the assailants facing consequences, the victims were apprehended by the police. The government sent a top official to the spot to justify the attack of the mob. To this day, regardless of our efforts, the mob has faced no legal consequences. Likewise, another mob of proponents of the ruling power attacked the former leader of the Armenian Revolutionary Federation, or the ARF, Hrant Markaryan, who was walking with his grandchildren. No legal response followed. The extremist leftist bloc of OSF uses all of its mass media and influence over the ruling party to apply double standards. That is how the leader of ADEKVAD movement, Artur Danielian, was arrested for mere political speech. The police entered private premises with no search warrant or consent and handcuffed him for no practical reason. To this day, the police has been unable to provide the legal basis neither for the arrest nor for the handcuffs. Apart from confronting ideological opponents, the Armenian Antifa, just like the original, is anarchist, aiming to disrupt or even demolish the state, as they view it as an enemy to their absolute freedom. Accordingly, they regard the police as an oppressive force and are openly hostile towards it. This way, last year, a group of LGBT Antifas stormed and seized the central police station of Yerevan, beating up policemen, one of whom had to be hospitalized. Virtually no adequate legal consequence followed. Curiously, the assailants were affiliated with the local LGBT NGO that is sponsored by none other than George Soros. The most tragic of them all, however, was the terrorist act of invasion and seizure of a police patrol base, where the armed group held hostages and killed 3 officers on duty, one of whom was a veteran of the Artsakh War. Their excuse? Oppressive autocratic government that needed to be overthrown. By the way, at the time, the main point of contact between the armed group and the government was the current Prime Minister, Nikol Pashinyan.
Այսօրվապես հիշում եմ Նիկոլ քեզ։ Այսօրվապես հիշում եմ քեզ Նիկոլ։ Ռուպերա ձեռդ, ավտոները քաշեք, ակերը ծակեք, պատրաստվեք ժողովուրդ ջան, այսօրվապես հիշում եմ քեզ Նիկոլ։
The most curious fact is that one of the leaders of this armed group is a man who was the first director of the Open Society Foundation in Armenia, Garagin Chugassyan. This could be the reason behind the mysterious fact that the members of the armed group are now free, enjoy the favor of the Prime Minister, have formed a political party, and have even participated in parliamentary elections of the country. The Prime Minister took it as far as to honor one of the members of the armed group by allowing his burial in the military cemetery and even bowed to his grave. Additionally, the Prime Minister is always keen on giving audiences to this organization turned political party to consult on political matters. All in all, this interview from 8 years back draws an eerily accurate outline of the big picture.
Մարմինը իր բջիջների մի մասը կարող է գանգրենա դառնալ եւ սկսել թունավորել այդ մարմինը Հայաստանում, հատկապես վերնախավում, դրանք գանգրենային երևույթներ են։
Մենք հայտարարում ենք եւ հայտարարել ենք ի սկզբանե, որ ոչ մի զիջումների չենք գնա։ Իշխանափոխությունը նպատակ չէ, դա ընդհանրապես միջոց է, որովհետեւ ամենակարևորը սկսվելու է մյուս օրը։
And today is the day after. With anarchist left extremists and armed groups loose, wreaking havoc and participating in politics, with full mass media coverage and political sponsorship of the ruling power, the Soros bloc is steadily dismantling what is left of the Republic of Armenia. It is only with the resistance of responsible citizens who put the state above partisan politics or even their own self that this process is counteracted. One of such is ADEKVAD Brotherhood of Statists, which is at the forefront of resistance. And with the US leadership considering naming Antifa an organization of terror, the fight is now approaching their source, giving us a glimpse of hope that is so much needed in these dark times. Please share, like and subscribe to spread the word and keep up to date with our videos. Thank you.